Welcome to Everyday Linux User. In today's video we're looking at 5 reasons why openSUSE Tumbleweed is not suitable for the everyday Linux user and new users to Linux. Now the first few are just personal gripes, but the last one is a deal breaker. So there are 2 versions of openSUSE. There is Leap, which follows a traditional release model similar to Ubuntu, and then there is Tumbleweed, which is a rolling release version, and it is the Tumbleweed version that I'm focusing on today. I'm spending the entire month on openSUSE Tumbleweed, and even though I am just a couple of weeks in, I have noticed a few red flags that concern me. The first and most notable issue is the installer. There isn't a live installer, and so you have to commit to installing it without seeing it in action first. The installer itself is fairly decent and it works in a linear fashion, so it is definitely better than the Fedora installer, and I quite liked the partitioning when I created my dual boot guide. However, it would be nice to have a live USB where the installer can be started from that, so you can see whether it is what you were looking for in the first place. The second issue is multimedia codecs. When I first installed openSUSE Tumbleweed, I was unable to play YouTube videos in Firefox, and it kept popping up a message about missing codecs. Within openSUSE, you have to add a new repository called Pacman and install extra multimedia codecs to be able to watch certain video formats. Even though I have now installed the missing codecs and I can watch YouTube videos, the GNOME video player stutters, and I've had to install VLC to be able to watch videos consistently. The third issue is an annoyance. If I was to ask you what is one of the most annoying features of Windows, it would be this. Install an update 1 of 300 with no option to cancel and no concept of how long it will take. openSUSE sometimes does the same thing. You will boot up and it will say installing updates. Now I just hate that. The fourth issue, and this is a deal breaker for me, updating the system. So I have installed the GNOME version of openSUSE Tumbleweed, and therefore you get GNOME Software Manager installed by default. In most other distributions this would be seen as a good thing, and you can run your updates using GNOME. In openSUSE Tumbleweed this is frowned upon. Instead you have to open a terminal and run sudo zipper dup to upgrade distribution packages. Not only that, but it's recommended that you take a full backup before doing so, and you should run the screen command first. And you need to check the list of packages that are updating before you update, as the upgrade can break your system. Now that is one hell of a commitment for the average computer user. Having to open a terminal and run commands when there's a perfectly good GUI, as with most other distros, is not a good thing. And if all that doesn't convince you that openSUSE Tumbleweed isn't for new users, then just read the openSUSE documentation. They actively state that new users should stick with Leap. Tumbleweed isn't for you. So there you have it, 5 reasons why openSUSE Tumbleweed isn't for the everyday Linux user. Thank you for watching.